Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about Mars in the 10th house. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So before we start, just a few quick disclaimers. You first want to understand what sign is Mars positioned in. Is Mars exalted in the sign of Capricorn, debilitated in Cancer, in its own sign of Aries or Scorpio, or in a sign that it enjoys being in? This is very important to understand for the functioning of Mars. Along with this, you want to understand, is Mars in a conjunction with any planets or receiving aspects from any planets. This will also have a significant effect on how Mars will play out within your natal chart. You also want to understand which houses in your chart are ruled over by Aries and Scorpio. Mars will influence these houses within your chart. And along with this, you want to see, is Mars compatible with your ascendant? It's also important to understand that Mars matures at the age of 28. So this will be a very significant moment in your life where Mars will take rulership over you. Mars also will be very significant during a Mars return when it returns back to the original placement of where it was positioned within your natal chart. And along with this, the most significant moment in your life will be during a Mars Mahadasha, where Mars will take over your life with the lessons that are with Mars's position within your natal chart. So if you have not seen my video on the Mars Mahadasha Bhuktis, I will leave a link for that above and down below in the description. So what does Mars represent? Mars is considered to be an army general in astrology. Mars represents our willpower, courage, energy, strength, our enthusiasm, our ability to move forward in life. It is all about taking action. Mars does not want to think. Mars wants to take action. So it is all about progressing forward. Mars is always where we direct our energy and attention. Mars is representing our ability to fight. It is all about fighting for what is right. Mars also is our ability to take risk. It is a planet of great courage and determination. Mars is also signifying brothers, blood, weapons, surgery. It is all about our ability to build and to create structure in life. Mars is also connected with mathematics, with computer skills, with engineering. It is, again, a very technical planet where it is all about taking action. Along with this, though, Mars signifies anger. So it's very important that we understand how to control Mars within our natal chart. And Mars is also the signifactor of property. So anything dealing with land and real estate. So what does the 10th house represent? The 10th house is the house of career, of profession. It is all about the actions that we perform within society, all about how we contribute to society, our role, our obligation, our responsibility. The 10th house also signifies those in position of authority, those in position of the government. It is all about our connection with authority figures. The 10th house also signifies our connection with our Father. The 10th house is your legacy, your status. It is how you leave your mark on the world, how others perceive you within the world. And ultimately, the 10th house is a house of karma, as it is all about the deeds that we carry out in life. So what happens when Mars is placed within the 10th house of your natal chart? Well, Mars is considered to be in directional strength in the 10th house. Mostly, though, this is the Sun's position of directional strength, because this can create some obstacles for you within your life. Mars here definitely is a position of sudden ups and downs in life. This is in a Kendra house, one of the main houses within your natal chart, and it will aspect onto two other Kendra houses. So this is a destabilizing position where you will go through dramatic changes in life. However, Mars here gives you a great deal of willpower and determination. You are someone who never gives up. You are someone, once you put your mind to something, you will continue until you win. So this is a very unstoppable position. You have a tremendous amount of passion and determination to push forward in life. Mars in the 10th house can also make you extremely independent in your career. You are someone who doesn't like for other people to constantly be on your back giving you orders. You want to just get on with the job, so you are very determined, very willful in this area. Sometimes, if Mars is not placed well within your chart, then you can have some struggles with actually finding the right path as far as career. However, again, this is going to give you a tremendous amount of courage and determination in your career path. So you are someone who will never give up until you find that path, that direction that is suited for you. Sometimes sometimes, though, Mars in the 10th house can give some anger issues. You're someone who's very aggressive, very determined. You want to take charge. You want to get things done. So sometimes you can find yourself getting into conflicts with people in positions of authority. Again, this is definitely a position where you are very independent and self-motivated. You don't like to constantly receive orders from other people. So sometimes this can indicate self-employment. Not always, though. It can indicate a career, though, where you are provided with a lot of freedom to initiate in the area that you need to. Or it can be a position where you also could be in a position of authority, of leadership, in an executive role. You could be very high up in the government with Mars here in the 10th house. Definitely, though, this will give conflicts with bosses, with authority figures, with coworkers sometimes. Anyone within your workspace, you can find yourself getting into conflicts with. Mars here also can sometimes make you impatient in your career path. You want results right now. You don't want to wait. You want to take action and you want to achieve. So sometimes this can also trip you up, especially if Mars is not placed well within this 10th house. You can have a lot of dramatic changes where you go from job to job trying to get to that position of success. If Mars is placed really well in the chart, though, and is receiving support from other planets, then you can really move up quickly in your career path. Mars here will definitely give you a lot of competition, a lot of opposition within your workplace. But again, this is something that doesn't deter you. You have a lot of strength and determination to keep progressing forward through every obstacle, every difficulty. Sometimes Mars here can show a very difficult upbringing as well. As Mars aspects onto the 4th house, you can have a lot of conflicts within the home, sometimes not getting along with the mother or the family, having a lot of opposition in this area. You can come from a very humble beginning sometimes with this position, where you struggle very early on in life. But Mars here gives you the ability to rise up and to achieve. Definitely Mars in the 10th house can incline you towards careers that are related to Mars. But ultimately, a planet that is within a house cannot tell you what your career path will be. So it's important that you see what the 10th Lord is, what planet actually rules the sign that is placed in the 10th house. And along with this, of course, the D10 Dasamsha chart is very important to see. But Mars here sometimes can give an inclination towards the army, police, government, anything with computers, engineering, all of these Martian-related careers can be seen. Mars will also aspect onto the 1st house. So once again, it's going to give you a lot of willpower, a lot of determination, a lot of energy to progress forward. You're someone who generally is ahead of other people. You're able to create a lot of momentum and energy in your determination to drive forward in your achievements. Mars's aspect onto the 1st house can also make you someone who's physically inclined. You like to take care of your body. You like to focus on your diet. You could be someone who's very active, very restless, where you like to constantly be exercising and moving. Mars's aspect onto the 1st house, though, sometimes can show some pressure that you put on yourself. A little too much pushing for you to strive to have this control over your physical body. So you want to be careful in this area. You can have some health-related issues by overexerting yourself. Mars could also give you good dealing in property and land sometimes. Again, you want to see how well placed is Mars in this 10th house. Mars, though, can also take you away from your home, where you can move into foreign settlements sometimes, as well as Mars is directly opposing this 4th house of home. Sometimes this can also create some obstacles with your education. The 4th house and the 5th house are related to education. So you can see some ups and downs in this area. And as Mars aspects onto the 5th house, sometimes there is a tendency to have breaks in your education where you could impatiently drop a course. You can make impulsive moves and changes in this area. Mars here definitely gives you a quick learning style. You're able to grasp onto information and subjects very quickly, and sometimes this can frustrate you in an educational institution. Mars's aspect onto the 5th house also makes your children very important to you. You are strongly devoted in this area, but sometimes you can have conflicts with children as well because you tend to be very strict. You are someone who definitely is about discipline in this area. Mars here will definitely make you a risk taker as well. That aspect onto the 5th house can get you into stock market, into all sorts of speculative gains. You want to be careful though if Mars is not placed well in that 10th house, because you can find yourself getting into sudden losses in this area.